The season 4 finale answered a lot of questions, but it may have secretly told us exactly what's coming in season 5. After going back through the series, I found several clues that don't just explain the finale, they may have predicted where the story is headed next. So today, let's break down my biggest season 5 predictions based on what the writers have already shown us. But before we get into it, if you enjoy hearing clues, fan theories, and deep dives into TV shows and movies, hit that subscribe button for me. It really helps me grow the channel and it lets me keep making content like this. Alright, let's go. Let's start with what the biggest game changer in the entire series, Julie. By the end of season 4, we learned that Julie can move through different points in time. At first, it feels like the writers are setting her up to change history. But what if that's not what's happening at all? Think about every time we've seen strange events happen throughout the series. What if those moments only happened because Julie was already there? In other words, she isn't changing history, she's completing it. Ethan has been telling us this since the beginning. Stories have rules. Heroes have quests. You can't skip chapters. What if From follows those same rules? Every attempt Julie makes to stop something actually causes it. Imagine Julie trying to save Jim, only to accidentally create the chain of events that leads to his fate. Or trying to stop someone from entering the town, only to be the reason they ended up there in the first place. That's a classic time loop. And From has been quietly introducing that possibility for several seasons now. If I'm right, Julie isn't the person who breaks the cycle. She's the reason the cycle exists. But if Julie isn't the key to escaping, then who is? My second prediction is all about Fatima. And honestly, I don't think her story is anywhere close to being over. Ever since season 1, the monsters have acted like they know more than they're saying. They remember things, they talk, they manipulate people, which means they know the truth. So here's my prediction. What if Fatima becomes connected to them? Not because she's one of them, but because she's different. Different from every monster we've ever seen before. What if the monsters start talking to her? What if they tell her what really happened? How they used to be? How they became monsters? And who made them that way? What if they tell Fatima that the man in yellow is the one who's been manipulating people, cycle after cycle after cycle? The saddest part, I don't think anyone is going to believe her. Imagine discovering the truth, finally knowing how to stop all of this, and no one trusts you because you've become exactly what they're afraid of. But even if Fatima learns the truth, I still don't think she's talking to the only person in control. Now here's the prediction that completely changed how I look at this show. I don't think the man in yellow is the final villain. I don't think the monsters are either. At the end of season 4, it feels like we're finally meeting the person pulling all the strings. But what if that's exactly what the writers want us to think? Go all the way back to season 1. Boyd and Sarah find these massive spider webs deep in the forest. Boyd gets bitten, starts hallucinating, and then we never really get an explanation. The show just moves on. Then there are the crows. They appear before anyone ever enters the town, almost like they're warning them or watching them. There's just too many strange things happening outside of the town itself. The monster, children, the boy in white, the man in yellow, the cave paintings, they're all connected, but I don't think they're at the top. I think they're all pieces of something much bigger. So here's my prediction. Season 5 is finally going to introduce us to the real entity, the one that's been watching from the shadows long before we ever met the man in yellow. My fourth prediction is that season 5 is going to become a race against time, and I think it all comes down to the talismans. Since the very beginning, these talismans have been the only thing keeping everyone alive. They become something everyone depends on, but I don't think that's going to last. The man in yellow, aka Sophia, didn't destroy the talismans. He scattered them, and I don't think that was an accident. Think about it. If the talismans are scattered across town, or something even worse, Boyd isn't just going to try to protect everyone anymore. He's going to try to have to find them before the town tears itself apart. Without those talismans, every single night becomes a gamble, and I think that's exactly what the man in yellow wants. Not just dead bodies, but panic, fear, and people making desperate decisions. So my prediction is season 5 isn't just going to be about surviving the monsters. It's going to be about finding the one thing that kept this town alive from the very beginning. Because if Boyd can't find those talismans, I don't think anyone survives. If you made it this far, thank you. And if you're enjoying these theories and want to keep diving deep into movies and TV shows like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not. It really helps me grow the channel, and I truly appreciate the support. Alright, so this last prediction is the one I've been waiting to share because I honestly think if this turns out to be true, it changes everything we thought we knew about the monsters. We know that at least some of the monsters are connected to the original child sacrifice, but here's what's never been completely clear. which ones? Because not every monster looks like they came from the same time period. Look at the cheerleader. Look at Smiley. Look at some of the younger monsters. Are we really supposed to believe that every single one of them was one of the original parents? I don't think so. I think some of them probably were. I think some of them really were the people who sacrificed their children. But I don't think that that's where the story ends. I think every cycle, the man in yellow manipulates more people. He promises them hope. Maybe he promises they'll finally go home, but instead they become part of his army. So over time, his army keeps growing. I think that's exactly what we're watching happen again. The man in yellow doesn't just kill people. He manipulates them first. He gives them hope. He makes them believe they're doing the right thing. And then they're serving their purpose. He doesn't send them home. He turns them into something else. Imagine if every one of these monsters started exactly where Boyd, Donna, Ellis, Tabitha, and even Claire, and everyone else started right now. They were scared. They wanted to go home, and they trusted the wrong person. I don't think the man in yellow is building any army with force. I think he's building it with false hope. Every cycle, someone believes him. Every cycle, someone makes the wrong choice. And every cycle, his army grows. So here's my biggest prediction for season 5. We're finally going to learn who these monsters really are, how they became monsters, and why they serve the man in yellow. Because if I'm right, they aren't just monsters. They're survivors from previous cycles who believe the biggest lie of all. And if the man in yellow has been doing this for generations, then the scariest part isn't what's already out there, it's who's next. Now, whatever happens, I have a feeling season 5 is going to change the way we look at everything that came before it. And if that's true, we're all going to be rewatching these series very differently. Now, I want to hear from you. Which predictions do you think has the best chance of happening in season 5? Or do you think I missed something? Let me know down in the comments because I love reading your theories and some of the best conversations happen there. If you enjoyed this video and want more hidden clues, theories, and deep dives into movies and TV shows, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me grow the channel and lets me keep making content like this. Thanks for watching because every great story deserves a real good talk.